Today we're quite lucky to come to this place, but unfortunately we have a bad weather today. However, it is quite cool, but I have to take the umbrella with me. Actually, personally, I visited this food street. But last time I visited here, I cannot find an expert to accompany my visit. And today we are honored to have a special guest with me. So for this gentleman, Mr. Xie is actually coming from the business union in the region of Bukit Bintang. As I have just said, I visited this place for many times. I would like to visit every corner of this street, but I don't know where to start. Well, today I can give you more introduction about this food street. And for this food street, it is quite local and specialized. I realized you are standing at a very well-known store. It is a food store to sell durian. That's right. So for this store, it's selling the well-known Musang King durian. We have the A level and also the B level of durian. And for this store, it is specialized in selling the A level durian. But as a consumer, how can you tell the differences of the level of the durian? So that's why this store will tell you all the information you want. And if you find an inferior durian, and also the retailer will pay you back. So let's take a look on this food store. Well, we have just talked about the durian, and again, so we are referring to the Alor Street. And actually, the durian is very well known for the Alor Street, and actually there is a story associated with the durian for the Alor Street. If you have time, you can check it out on the internet. So now we are about to taste one piece of the durian. Actually, I can already smell the durian. So maybe Mr. Xie can give us some of the tips in selecting the durian. First of all, let's take a look on the cover of the durian. You have to check out the pattern of the durian. If you see the shape of a star, meaning that this kind of fruit is coming from Musang King. But if the pattern is not in the star, so the durian is coming from other varieties of durian. So you have to pay close attention to the pattern of the cover of the durian. So for this one, it seems very small. And for the fruit itself, it is quite yellow, right? And it's quite shining on the cover of the durian. If you want to taste the authentic Musang King durian, it is a little bit bitter. However, that is what the fruit takes. Actually, the bitter, the better, meaning that you have a very strong flavor of the durian. Well, maybe at the beginning, I've already changed some of my view on the fruit. So I believe there will be more surprises ahead of me. But just at the beginning, I hear some of the story about the Musang King durian, and as the expert just told us that the bitter, the better. It sounds like coffee. Alright, let's go to another store. Maybe we can start from the entrance of the street and walk through to the end of the street. So let's take a look at this one. This is a grilled kebab, and also they are using specialized dipping sauce. And this one is very famous in Thailand. You can only taste this kind of what we call the pork stick in the food street. So that's why we refer to this food street as an Asian food street. So if you do not have time to take your dinner, you can come here to grab a bite. Alright, I would like to have some taste of this food. And also you can see they're also making some dumplings. So what is the filling of the dumplings? For some of them we are using pork and some of them we're using vegetables. So as we can see, they have very heavy food. For example, the steak. Let's go to another time on the brand. And also we have a gift shop here. For some of the visitors, when they come here, they will bring back some of the gifts. As Mr. Xie just told us that this place is a must-visit place. So here you can taste some food and at the same time you can bring back some of the food back to your family. And I can feel this street is bustling and hustling, and also we can see this street is full of stores. Alright, we can see some preserved meat, and now they're making some preserved meat. Maybe we can just take a look at some finished products. So I could see it's actually mountains of preserved meat. So for this store actually has 43 years old, and also they are making 39 types of meat. And also they have a specialized meat famous for Malaysia. So the processing method is quite different. As you can see, they're cutting the one-piece meat into small parts, and it's quite crispy. And for some of the elderly generation, they will never get rid of this kind of meat. It is quite thin, so it is easy to swallow. Well, it smells very good. As you can see from the screen, it is all red. Because you can see you have the red lanterns and people are dressing in red shirts, and also you can see the red meat. It also conveys a festive mood for many people. This also represents the culture of the Alor Street. Actually, for this kind of store, it opens 24 hours per day. Even though in the evening or early morning after 3 a.m. there may be fewer people in the store, but throughout the day they will receive a great number of visitors. I would say for the whole year, 365 days, and for all of the stores here, they're quite bustling for the Alor Street. Even the street is not quite long, but for each one of the food store, it has its own features. For this street, as I can tell, it has over 50 years of history. In the past, it's just a regular place. In the early days, some of the food stores, they are opening up in this Alor Street. And with some of the upgrades and support of the government, more and more people would like to visit the Alor Street to enjoy the food here. Today it's raining, and actually I feel quite comfortable today. Under such weather, I think it is quite laid back and quite relaxed to visit the food street. And also we have 4 specialized fried fruits in this place, and actually we produce the fried durian here. back to my childhood, I would say my family is quite poor. I think it's quite a waste to fry the durian. But actually, by fried the durian, actually it can bring out some of the flavor and it can attract more visitors here. This is quite unique for Kuala Lumpur, and I would like to have a bite. Alright, I will take some of this and I will sit down and enjoy the fruit. And actually you can see all kinds of food from Asian here. And here we have a very famous store that is selling Thai food. For example, they have some dishes featuring seafood and also selling some deep-fried dishes. And there are many choices here. All of these seafood are really fresh. For example, the lobsters. So where they get these lobsters? Actually, all of these lobsters are caught locally, but they're using the Thai way to cook all of this seafood. Let's check out the fish and the shrimp. And also, they're very famous for the salty grilled fish. I thought it is ice covering the fish, but actually it is the salt that is covering the fish. So I think actually the Thai food is featuring seafood. And of course you can pick different ways to cook the seafood. For example, you can boil the sea fish, and also sometimes you can choose to grill all of those seafood. So for Thai food, it is quite sweet and sour. So one of their featured food is the grilled fish and the sour and sweet fish, and actually light up your appetite. So what is this one? This is a very traditional dim sum. In Malaysia, you can have the shrimp dumpling. And actually, you can take this breakfast as an evening snack. So what drinks you will take if you're having all of this dim sum? So actually, you can get a bottle of the tea. I think this is quite colorful for all of these dim sum. Are there any food elements? No, actually that is actually extracted from the fruit and some of the vegetables. So this one is quite pink. How did you make all of these dumplings? We're actually getting some of the color from the cherry blossom. So we make this kind of dumplings very beautiful. Well, actually, it is quite an art to name all of this kind of food. And we have another store, it is quite famous here. And for that store, it is selling the dried durian, and also they're selling some of the made in Malaysia coffee. So let's take a look. Actually, for the boss, he is one of the local celebrity in Malaysia. So all of his food is quite famous here. By walking through the streets, you could enjoy some of the food here. You can buy some gift for your friends and family. So it is a good place for tourism and also sightseeing. Let's take a look on all of this food. You could see the logo is actually representing the image of the boss. So he is a local celebrity here. Hello. I'm the boss. Nice to meet you. Can you give me some short introduction about your food or your snack? I realize some of the food are using the logo of yourself. So what is the features of your food? So for example, we are selling some powder for the coffee and some powder for the milk tea. Image.
好，我们关注看一下啊，这个老板在线上是网红，然后线下有实体店。
So what is the differences of your coffee and other brands? So maybe you could have a try. Thank you for your introduction.
在马来西亚大概有10多间公司吧，10多间公司。那么我们的公司在前马有15间了，主要是在比较大型的广场啊。 然后因为这条街有很多的游客抵达，所以我们就在这一条街开了一个夜市的店了。
So actually, I have over 10 companies in Malaysia.
我们都是以散装为主了。
And globally, I have around like 15 stores. So some of my stores located in some big supermarkets, but for the other street, there were many visitors. That's why we opened up a store in the other street.
啊，对，不是自己制造，不是自己制造的。好的。
好，谢谢老板，谢谢。我们啊，在哪个地方都不能停留太长时间。
And also, we are selling some dry squid.
有名气的太多。
So these are not produced by my company. We purchased this dry squid from somewhere else.
你看，今天虽然下雨，商家马上把这个棚子。 就支起来了，这个大家看着几尺之外，外边是雨，但是在这个棚子底下一点淋不着，而且该怎么样还怎么样，而且还凉快这天。
And today, even though it's quite rainy, but we can tell all of these stores they're quite friendly to the visitors. They already hold up some umbrella to protect the visitors.
但是呢，接着下来呢，我要带大家去一间就是闻名全亚洲的美食店，叫做黄亚华。就是所有那些国外的艺人啊，中国、香港的艺人到马来西亚做节目或者拍戏过后呢，就一定会到的。包括很多歌星开完演唱会过后呢，就一定会过来吃这一间店的。
Pretty soon we will come to another well-known store in the other street. It is the Wong Awa roast chicken wings.
我给总结一下呢，到吉隆坡来就必须来这个阿罗街，到阿罗街呢就必须来黄亚华，是这样的吗？
当你没有来过黄亚华，就是等于你没有来过亚罗街呢。
然后没有来过亚罗街，就等于没有来过吉隆坡。
对，所以这家店你必须要尝试它的烧鸡翅。
烧鸡翅
它非常出名的这个是
我以前说实
So
话
for
也
this
吃过。
roast chicken wings is very famous. Actually, I used to taste this roast chicken wings and also recommend that to my friend.
它也有一定历史。
Actually, I can tell this brand is well known and lasts for a long history. And actually, maybe we can talk about more about the story about the chicken wing. By seeing the name, it is Wong Awa chicken wing. So some people are saying that the boss of this chicken wing is called Wong Awa. However, it used to be Awa food store, but Mr. Huang actually purchased this roast chicken wing store, so the name was renamed. And now there are over 6 restaurants and stores about the roasted chicken wings, which can meet the needs of the visitors. So is there any special any special recipe to make the roast chicken wing. Yes, I believe they must have a specialized recipe. So they have kept the flavor for many years. I was wondering whether Mr. Huang would like to open more stores in other regions. Actually, I used to ask his opinion, but he's quite busy with the stores in Malaysia. So maybe at this point, he doesn't have a plan to expand his business. So, as the expert just told us, the Wong Awa roast chicken wing is another name card for the Alor Street. Alright, so we have come to the end of this Alor Street, and for the Wong Awa roast chicken wing store is on the other side of the street. So we only identify the stores by telling whether it is the entrance or on the end of the food street. So I would say the roast chicken wing store is actually located on the other side of the Alor Street. Alright, so we are coming near to the Wong Awa roast chicken wing store, even though today is raining, but we still see a lot of visitors and people here. Finally, we are coming to the store. Alright, let's take a seat and we can discuss more about this store and the founder, Mr. Wong. Now it's already after 9 p.m., but still we have many people here in the food street. For the roasted chicken wing store, sometimes in the peak hour you have to wait at least 45 minutes. And some people have to take an order to get the chicken wing. But if you just come here and stand in the queue, you have to wait for at least 45 minutes. Well, it is a little bit beyond my expectations. So as you just told us that Mr. Wong, and he doesn't plan to expand his business because he's already busy right now. So here comes the wife of Mr. Wong. And because you're coming from CCTV and you don't have to wait, you can taste the roasted chicken wing immediately. So this is the chicken wing. Let's take a bite. Well, my mouth is watering. I would like to taste the chicken wing. I really want to give my chicken wing to my cameraman, but alright, I will taste it. It tastes good, delicious. And you have to eat it when it is hot. It looks like the roast duck in Beijing is quite crispy for the skin. And actually you can see the smoke just coming out from the chicken wing. For the meat itself is quite tendering. Yes, they're using fresh ingredients and they have to marinate all of the chicken wings in advance. But the recipe will not open to the public. So all of the processing, it is the roasted chicken wing. Now you can see people are queuing out in front of the store. They are waiting for the chicken wing. So they're actually using the most traditional technique to make the chicken wing. So all of the procedures are processed manually. That's why they can make sure that the taste of the roast chicken wing keep consistent. So what is that one? So that is the fried durian we have just taken from another store. How do you feel? is a little bit hot.
这个出乎我意料。我以前
Well,
对这个
this is
说
actually
实在
out of
炸的
my expectation.
从咱们说这个主流正确来讲，这个炸的是对身体不好的。
Even though
但是我刚才一吃，
fried food is not healthy,
就会强
but
烈
it
建
is
议啊，
quite
先吃鸡
delicious.
翅。这个四句
But
别
I would
搞
like to recommend you that please taste the chicken wing first.
再吃，
Then you taste the fried durian. It's quite delicious.
哎呦，这又上饮料了。
This is also a specialized drink, the plum and orange juice. For this kind of drink, it can help to remove the oil and internal heat. It is quite healthy.
我刚说呢，这两样应该配什么呢？
Well, I just talk about we are eating a lot of meat and probably we're eating some deep fried fruit. So right away, the merchant gave us a specialized drink. This is the plum and orange
它
juice.
是一个甜咸的，
It's a
我
little
个人
bit
觉得稍微
sweet
咸
and a
了
little
点，
bit salty
就是。
because they're putting some plums inside of the drink. That's why you feel
话梅
it
大
is
家
a
知
little
道
bit
里
sour.
头有一个特别咸的味儿。那么这个里头呢，但是我要说，非常也是
I would say, even though I think it's a little bit sour in its nature, but it is quite fit for Malaysia.
橘子，还有
It can help to remove the internal heat and the oil.
解油解腻。
As you can see for this drink, it is mixed with the orange and plum. It can also help you to keep fit.
这个炸榴莲，
这就是炸榴莲了。我
For
们
this
这
is
边
the
非常特别的，因为榴莲也只
fried
是
durian.
马来西亚土生土长的一个果
For
嘛。
durian, it is quite famous and actually originating in Malaysia.
来分嘛，说我这个炸的是。
But when you are making the deep fried durian, do you have to choose a special variety of the durian? For example, sometimes you will use the
但是
Musam
当你
King
炸了过
brand.
后呢，当你咬下去的时候，它有那
Well,
个热的
for
味
the
道，
experts, they
所以
can
它
tell
散
the
发出那个很
differences.
浓的
If you get a
榴莲味
bite, you can tell
所以
whether
很多人就觉得很好吃，
the
很香
durian
浓，
is from
这
the
就是它的
Musam
特
King.
色了。
If it have a very good smell, that's right.
这就是那肉干，贵妃。
And also take some preserved meat with
这个
me.
问题哦，就是老人家可以吃
And
吗？
some
是绝
people
对
are
可以的，因为它是
asking whether the elderly generation can taste this kind of preserved
而
meat.
且它是甜的。
Actually, it is also easy for you for the preserved meat, but for this kind of meat,
它什么？啊，因为这是炸。
I think the fried
榴
durian
莲肉，
is more appropriate for the elderly generation because it is quite tender and soft.
由于刚穿这个呢，也显得不那么甜。
As I have just tasted durian, maybe I think the preserved meat is not that sweet.
食品啊，我确实需要这个。
As I have just eaten a lot of meat, it is quite necessary for me to get a
阿
drink.
罗街感受，包括马来西亚的一个特色。
By visiting the Alor streets, I can actually feel the culture of Malaysia.
你可能配的就是
So for breakfast, probably you will drink some tea, and for lunch, you will drink some coffee.
比较闷热的天气。
But especially when you are visiting this kind of night streets, it is quite refreshing for you
叫120
to get the
对对
glass
对，那是非常
of
健康的。
juice.
啊，而且一般上运动员
For
啊，
all
或
of
者
this
你
kind of
热啊要提升
organic
你的能量啊，
juice,
就可以
this
喝
is
得
very
很好。
healthy and sometimes very fit for the athletes.
怎么说呢？我觉得阿罗街又代表了马来西亚人
For the Alor street, it shows that the Malaysian, they actually have a very good, very strong aspiration for better life
你
and
看
better
刚才
food.
咱们看，
And
因为由于
also,
今天下雨，
Alor
咱
Street
们没有
also
去其他的缅甸
represents
餐啊，
some of the culture coming from other countries in Asia.
基本上亚洲的。
You can
对啊，
actually
我们有泰
take
国的烤猪
all
排，
kinds of food
我
that
们
is
本地
coming
的
from
特色
Asia，
还
in
有
the
烧
Alor
鸡翅
street.
这
For
就是闻
example, you
名世
can
界的
get
啊
some of the Thai
肉
food
干
and，also
贵
you
妃肉
can
干。
get some of the local Malaysian food.
石锅拌饭啊，
这边
Do
啊
you
有，
have
但是因
some
为下雨
like
的关系，很
South
多都没有开
Korean
业。
food here? Yes, of course, but today it's
所以
raining.
这
That's
里
why
是
some
一
of the
个
stores
可以说
probably closed.
是以马来西亚为代表，或者说马来西亚
But
食
for
物
this
这种
street,
文化
even though it focuses
和
on
东
Malaysian
南亚
food,
或者
but
说整
also
个
it
亚洲食
featuring
文化相
different
融合
food， from different regions of Asia.
文化和文明一样，
Just as
就
we
是在
talk
相互
about,
交流、相互碰撞、相
just
互
like
融
the
合
culture, the food is actually integrating with each other
这个
by embracing the diversity and the inclusion, so we can meet all needs
它
of
也
people
存在一个
around the
与
world.
时俱进，
That's
是吧
why we say it,
因为过一段时间
some of the
就能
food
产生
can
新的
actually
品种。
progressing
那么
with
这
the
条街
time.
的名气实在太大了，
Because from
而
time
且
to
阿
time, you
罗
will
街
see
朋友
some
们记
new
住，刚才
varieties
我
of
开头
food.
的时候说了，它是我现在总结一下，就是天
Just
时
at the
地利人
beginning,
和，
I have talked about the history
就
of
是
the
这
Alor
个气候
Street.
决定了它365天。
Because of the weather condition in Malaysia,
是大排档，天天大家可以
you
享
can
美
see
食
for the Alor Street, it never closed for one day for the year.
这是最市中
And
心
also
的。
for the location for the Alor Street, it is at the city center.
像管理者，政府，大
With
家的
the
努力
joint，efforts
在
of
这
the
个市中心
retailers
寸土
and
寸
the
金的地方
government, the
保
Alor
留
Street
下来，
has
这个阿罗街
maintained
很不
for
容易。
tens of years.
在
It is
现
not
在
an easy task.
这个叫什么？地方越来越小、越来越拥挤的情况下，
Even
还能保持这么一条街道，
Malaysia is
这
quite
是地利
crowded,
人和。
but still
当
Alor
然，
Street
就说的是马来人民
maintains from
热情
tens
好
of
客、
years.
勤
And
劳，
now we talk about the harmony of the people.
愿意
We
和
could
其他的
see
文化，
people from
尤其
Malaysia
是
who
亚
are
洲的
quite
饮食
diligent,
文化，
and they have
都结
devoted a
合
lot
而且
in
这里
developing
是
the
金
food
三角地
industry
带
in，
我们也
Malaysia.
结合了来自马来西亚所有文化民族的
So
美
in the
食，
Alor
就
Street,
是
it
刚才像
actually
你所说
integrates
的，
different
就是
features
全部已经经过改
of
革
different
了，就是我
countries.
们会探讨有族同胞喜欢吃什么，印度同胞喜欢
We
吃
take
什
a
么
lot of，
然后
study
就慢慢的
to
改进，
understand
就有了今
what
天
the
的亚罗街。
features, what is the preference from people
针对的
around
是
the
整
world,
个
what
亚
is the
洲，或者
preference
说
from the India, from
我刚才也
Chinese
看到了，
and
也有老
other
外。
countries,
所以
and we
说是
keep upgrading
可
the
以说
food
地球
to
人
make that
都知道
fit，
我
everyone's
们针对的是
appetite.
所有人。这个美食就跟音
Food
乐一
is
样，
just like
不分
music,
国界，
there's no
不分种
boundary.
族，大家济济一堂，
As
享
long as
受美
everyone
食，
gather
享
together,
受生
they
活。
can enjoy the good
因为
food
今天
and
也
their
是
good
非常
life.
感谢你，在这样的天气里
Again,
头，
thank you so
给我们
much
带
for
来了
joining
这样
us
一
for
个
this live
基
streaming,
本的一
even
些
though
知识
today
和介绍了
it's
这条
not
街
a
的这
good
个
day,
整
and
个
thank you
情
for
况。
introduction about the food street.
据我所知，明年是马来西亚的
And
旅游
next
年。
year
你
will
们
be the
作为
tourism
这个阿
year
罗
of
街这个条
Malaysia.
名片，你们有
So,
什么具体
what are
的
some of
活
the
动，
plans for the
或
Alor
者有什
Street?
么
What are
具体
some
的想法？
activities
这
will
个
be
我就要介
hosted
绍，我
by
们这
Alor
边亚罗
Street?
街呢，每年都有两
So
个
for
重
Alor
头大
Street, it has
戏，
two
一个就是我们
key
传统农历新年的
activities.
初八
So
天公诞
first，
这里就会举办
activity
一
will
个
take
全民
place
一同拜天公的这个文化
at
活
the
动，
traditional
还有我
Chinese
们
New
15元
Year.
宵节啊，就会有舞狮
And
舞
also
龙啊，
we
然
will
后就在这
have
条街
some
跳舞大闹
vast
元宵。这两个
celebrations
节日呢
for
都已
the
经闻名到世界了，所以每一年都有非常多外国的媒体来
Lantern
采访。
Festival.
所以
For
如果
these
你
two
们想在
festivals, there
农
are
历新
many
年过来的话
foreigners
呢，
visited
就一定要
here.
选这两个日子
So if
到
you
了亚
want
罗街
to
看一看这个震
visit
撼
Alor
的场面
Street,。probably
而且
you
我们
can
当时
visit
会准备
during the
了我
period
们
of
华人传统
Chinese
就
New
是
Year.
拜烧猪啊，会非常
And
多
we
的
will
烧
host
猪
a lot
在
of
供奉我们这个
events.
天
For
公。
example, we will
现
perform
在网
some
友提个小
dragon
问题，
dancing, line dancing, and we
如
will
果
be
他
selling
们这
roast
些网友
pig
看了
during
这期
that
节
time.
目，来到黄亚华，提薛福峰先生，
And
是不
some
是有
people are asking
没有优惠了，
questions.
只不过你不需要
if
排
they
那么久了。一般
Speak
上他
of
们都叫
Mr.
我小
Xue,
红。
when they are
那也
coming
行。
to some of the
大家听
stores,
见了啊？
could they get a discount?
薛福峰
Actually,
先
there's
生说
no
了，
discount.
只要在来黄
But
亚华其他。
as he just told us that if you come to the food store, maybe you can get a mention of Mr. Xue and
高峰期啊，所以你需要是排
you
很
can
久
get
的。
some of the
然后你
food
就跟他讲是
faster
小红
than
主席介
others.
绍的，他们就
So
会特别
please
地安排
remember
给你
that
吧。
you are recommended by
起码我下
Mr.
回来
Xue.
肯定是先找你，啊，我不管别人了。
All right,
好了
I
观众
remember
朋友
that tip.
们，在雨中，我们是已经把该向您
So,
介绍
dear
的呢，
viewers,
就是
again,
介绍了
we give you a rough introduction
但是
about
这种
these
文化气氛
food
呢，
streets.
希望通过我们这
But
不长的时
hopefully,
间
by，having this
您能
live
感受
stream,
到一
you can
部
feel the culture
那么
of this
您
area.
要想充分感受，
If you want to get a deep understanding about this street, please pay a
这里
personal
的气
visit
味儿
here.
这里的这个我刚才说的气氛，都是我
Actually, actually the vibe here and also the good smell I could get here cannot convey to you through screen. So welcome to Malaysia and welcome to Alor Street in Bukit Bintang. Thank you for watching. See you next time.